Hey guys, it's 101R Smith, and we are back with yet another review. This day we're going to be taking a look at the high-grade Gundam Marchosias from the, weirdly enough, mobile game Iron-Blooded Orphans Orden Hunt. Now, this model kit comes from a mobile game based on Iron-Blooded Orphans. The roots of the mobile game come from episode 14 when Tekkadan goes to go visit Dort 6, and Dort 6, in response to Tekkadan's actions prior to start a revolt, Gjallarhorn as a result decides to go on a political move and assaults the colony. Tekkadan's actions in response to Gjallarhorn's actions start a chain reaction where other colonies and planets want to start to revolt against Gjallarhorn, and we follow that in the planet of Venus, and this kit is essentially promo material. You know, I remember when we saw this concept art about a year and a half ago, everyone was just blowing their minds going, oh my god, here it comes, the OVA of the Calamity Ward that we all wanted. But we waited over a year and then finally we found out, oh, it's a mobile game. And, you know, it's a little disappointing to find out that we're not going to get that OVA, but this model kit looks really cool. I find that it takes some of the best aspects of Bale and Gundam Barbatos Lupus and tries to combine it into one. And it's kind of interesting to see what that would come to look like, especially since it has a lot of the same power symbols that we saw on Barbatos and Bale, so that kind of hints at it being a direct relative, or at least was built around the same time as those two mobile suits. This is also a big deal because outside of the Master Grade Barbatos, this is the first big high-profile IBO release since the show ended 3 years ago. And granted, yeah, we're kind of treading into some old territory to promote a mobile game, but still, why would Bandai resurrect a model kit line of a show that has already been ended for 3 years outside of Master Grade if they didn't have something special to cook up? And since they also added the price from the typical $10 to $15 to about $25, I'm expecting a couple of special bells and whistles. So, after we build, why don't we open up and see what we have? All built up, and now we have Gundam Marchosias, and it's got looks going for it, I'll give it that. No, seriously, it's a great looking Gundam. As I've said before, it takes all the best aspects of Lupus Rex and Bale and combines it into one menacing looking mobile suit. But we start to see some of the problems already, and we're not even at articulation yet, which is lack of color separation. A lot of the red on this kit, unfortunately, is stickers, or in my case, hand-painted. Granted, this was expected from the IBO line with the heavy sticker use, but with the raise in price, I was expecting a bit more. And the lack of detail without any painting and stickers is atrocious at best. Okay, so maybe it's not the best looker out of the box, but maybe the articulation can make up for it, right? So starting off, the head is on a double jointed polycap, and while it has the ability to go through 60, the collar and oddly enough, the face armor prevent that from happening. The shoulder is on its own hinge, and both the shoulder and arm are connected, being able to go 360 degrees if you can mind the backpack a little bit. The bicep is on a swivel, and it has a single jointed elbow piece on the side. And as well, the hands are on ball points. The ab, you're not going to really get that much, and it kind of falls apart. While with the legs, you can't even really do the splits here. It's improbable. And then when you're trying to split it off with the legs, you're going to get a nice double jointed knee and moving ankles. And while the backpack can flip off, honestly, this thing is just a travesty. Poseability is nigh impossible without an action base, and even then, because of the Gundam frame, it just all falls apart. Now, accessories maybe could make up for this. You got a couple of cool weapons up your hand, and maybe they can try and revitalize what's going on with this kit. So let's just take a look. First weapon on Marchosias is honestly one of the first things you see is the knuckle guard. They act like very claws that can attack and also defend at the same time. What you have to do is take them out and push them back into the available slot and be able to either turn them from guard mode into claw mode. Aesthetically pleasing, this really works well, and if you can be patient and pose with the Marchosias off the ground, you can actually get some good boxing poses. It kind of reminds me of the double knuckle mode of the crossbow. It's actually one of my favorite accessories on this kit, and it actually works. Next up, you're going to have a physical shield and a large sword, which is a lot in the same vein as the large sword from the Gundam Marchosias. Again, it works on the same way, and since this kit only comes with one pair of hands, you just swap out the back and then push it back in. Honestly, no problems, and it looks good. Although some of the red is missing on the sword, if you just wanted to paint it gunmetal or leave it alone, it still works out in terms of looks. Once you get it on more dynamic posing with an action base or a display stand, you can get it to look a little bit more awesome. And the fun with the swords doesn't stop there, because it comes with these little daggers that you can attach to these sides and on the backpack as well. They open up to have these cool little arms that hold it together. Now you would think this would be awesome, but this kid. Now we're at the end of the review, and if you can't tell, I fucking hate this kit. I hate Marchosias because it's been a while since a brand new kit came with a fair amount of hype that I was actually excited for, only for it to disappoint me. Now, the good thing that this kit has is its looks. Aesthetically pleasing, it is a dark and evil looking Gundam. This is what I would imagine a demonic Gundam looking like. It looks great. But beauty is only skin deep, and that's the only thing this thing has going for it. Poseability? Trash. Can't pose, everything falls apart eventually, and even during this review, everything was just getting soft. Some of the pieces, like the back of the biceps, don't really hold up well. They're only held by one piece, which is flimsy to say the least. Weapons? There are some cool concepts here, like the wings, very reminiscent of Gushan Rebake. Again, they don't work in this kit because everything is bogged down by weight. And yes, we all know a lot of these Gundam frames, both high grade and no grade, can't deal with their own weight and can't deal with their own weapons. It's my biggest criticism of this whole line. But I was expecting, okay, it's been 3 years, they maybe made some improvements, learned a few lessons, and obviously they raised the price. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this has a little something special under the hood. Nope. Their sticker sheet is atrocious. Like, come on. Like, I get it. It's IBO. We expect this from the high grades. You gotta do a lot of work. But come on. This doesn't match up to the promo pictures at all. It has nothing special about it at all. It takes way too much work. If you got time to paint this, some of those problems will be mitigated. But out of the box, I cannot recommend Marchosias. You want a cool high grade this season if you're not running away from the coronavirus? Go after the RX-78 Origin or one of the new Season 2 Build Divers kits. Please do not get Marchosias. I only recommend Marchosias if you want to do a custom build or kit bash with your other high grade IBO kits. Not worth it. I'm done. I'm pissed. 101R Smith. See you later. Fuck this kit.